Hello student, it's great to see you again in my class Academic Presentations with me, Rido. Today in our Academic Presentations class, we will discuss about IELTS Speaking Part 1. So we will be focusing on Part 1 of IELTS, questions and answers, which consists of 3 topics: study, hometown, and home. Okay, let us start. So this is learning objective of our lesson today. So after completing this lesson, it is expected that you are able to answer 12 questions related to study, hometown, and home in 4 until 5 minutes, fluently and coherently, using a wide range of vocabulary sourced skillfully and producing complex structures with minimum grammatical mistakes and intelligible pronunciation and accents. So remember students, if you start your speaking practice, you need to pay attention on your fluency, coherence of ideas of what you're saying, all right? Your vocabularies, your structures, grammar, and pronunciation as well as your accent. Okay, students? All right, for our lessons today, this is the outline. So I will start with reviewing IELTS speaking part 1, question and answer. I will inform you again about IELTS speaking part 1, which is questions and answers. All right, after that, we will start practicing. Practice 1 will be about study. Practice 2 will be about hometown, and practice 3 will be about home. Okay, students, I'm going to talk a little bit about what you have learned before. What is IELTS speaking test? Okay, so in academic presentation this semester, we will be focusing on IELTS speaking test. So IELTS speaking is actually a face-to-face informal discussion with an IELTS examiner. So in our classroom context, the examiner will be me, your teacher, your lecturer, and it's the same for both academic and general training. So the test, the IELTS speaking test is actually divided into 3 parts and is designed to test your pronunciation, fluency, grammar, and vocabulary. Meanwhile, the speaking test itself will take between 11 until 14 minutes. So the whole IELTS speaking test will take between 11 until 14 minutes. Okay, this is the parts and topics of IELTS speaking test that I need to introduce to you. So remember students, there are 3 parts of speaking in IELTS speaking test. Number 1, part 1, questions and answers. It will take 4 to 5 minutes. Part 2, we call it as a talk. You will spend 1 until 2 minutes, with rounding of questions for 1 minute. And part 3 of IELTS speaking test, we call it as discussion. So you will spend 4 to 5 minutes to answer questions or in the discussion part, part 3. Okay, now we focus on speaking part 1. And this is the common topics list. So you will talk or answer questions related to work, study, hometown, home, art, birthdays, childhood, clothes, computers, daily routine, dictionaries, evenings, family and friends, flowers, food, going out, happiness, hobbies, internet, and leisure time. So these are the common topic lists that you will be asked, during the questions and answers, especially in part 1. Okay, this is about part one of IELTS speaking test. We call it as question and answer. So you will start practicing questions and answers. So principally, you will be sitting for a face-to-face interview with the examiner. Yeah. Later, when you practice, you will practice with your friends. Okay, you can try it at home. And please set your time for until 5 minutes. So principally, there will be 12 questions based on 3 topics. Again, there will be 12 questions based on 3 topics. I give you an example. For example, you will be asked questions about yourself, your life, and your country. So there will be 12 questions related to those 3 topics. So this is the examples of speaking part 1. Yeah, IELTS speaking part 1, questions and answers. Okay, students, now let us start practicing. Okay, so I will give you instruction. Please, look at your screen. Okay, read carefully the instruction because you will practice with your friends at home. Okay, once again, you will practice with your friends at home. Find a friend, your classmate, and practice together. All right, so look again at the instruction. There will be 5 things that you need to prepare. Number 1, practice answering the following questions in 4 until 5 minutes in pairs. One as an interviewer and another one as an interviewee. So you can be an interviewer and your friends can be an interviewee. And then you can take turns. You can be the interviewee and your friends can be an interviewer later. Number 2, before you start, don't forget to introduce yourself. Mention your name and your student number. Number 3, do it twice and record each of practice. Okay, again, do it twice and record each of practice. Number 4, after recording your practice, choose the best recording and play it in the class. Number 5, evaluate your own recording in front of the class later when we meet. All right? So I put a note there. Students, don't forget to pay attention to your fluency on cohesion, vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. Yeah, to make it a bit clearer, yeah, for you. So you can see here, on screen about questions and answer practice. So on the left, student 1 as the interviewer. On the right, student 2 as the interviewee. So you can start, as an interviewee student, and your friend can be an interviewer first. The responsibility of student 1 as the interviewer is ask the questions and set the stopwatch. Remember, your durations of practice is between 4 to 5 minutes. Okay? So students 1's responsibility is asking questions and setting the stopwatch. Meanwhile, student 2, in this case you, student, you will act as an interviewee and your responsibility is answer the questions and record the Q&A using handphone. You can put your phone or your camera somewhere so then all the activities of questions and answers can be recorded, or you may ask another friend to record for you. So students, this is questions for practice 1 about study. I can show you on screen, then you can practice later with your friends. Yeah, remember, one student as an interviewer and another student or you will be as an interviewee. So these are the questions that you can ask to your friends or you can answer. About study. What do you study? Okay, this is the questions that you have to respond. What do you study? Where do you study that? Okay, students, think about it. Where do you study that? Why did you choose that subject? Why did you choose that subject? Do you like that subject? It means that the subject that you are learning right now in the university, let's say. How did you get on with your classmates? So you can talk about how you get on with your friends in the class. The next question is, what was your first day like? For example, if you are college students or university students, you can tell about your first day in the university. Okay? What are the main aspects of your subject? What are the main things that you study? Yeah? And if you had the chance, would you change subject? Think about it. Will you change your subject if you had a chance? And the last question for study is, do you plan to get a job in the same field as your subject? Think about it. This is very interesting questions. So for practice 1, you can answer the question briefly, as precise as possible, because you only have 4 until 5 minutes to respond to these questions. Okay? This is for practice 1, students. Remember, practice with your friends, record it twice, and you will play the best recording in the class later. So this is for practice 1. Now, let us move to practice 2. All right, students. This is another practice that you can, try at home with your friends. Yeah, the topic is about hometown. All right? So spend 4 until 5 minutes with your friends to practice these questions and answers. Okay? These are the questions. Think about how you respond to these questions. Question number 1. Where is your hometown? Where is your hometown? Okay? You can talk about your village. You can talk about your town. Maybe you can talk about your country or your states. Yeah? If you're confused, which one is your hometown? All right? If you don't have hometown, sometimes, you can talk about, the city where you live in right now. All right? So, do you like your hometown? Do you like it or not? The next question is, do you often visit your hometown? Do you often visit your hometown? The next is, what is your hometown like? You can describe about your hometown, all right? The next question, this is also interesting. What is the oldest place in your hometown? It needs a little bit knowledge to answer these questions. That's why you need to learn. What is the oldest place in your hometown? All right? The next is, what is there for a foreigner to do or see in your hometown? What is there for a foreigner, for international tourists to do or see in your hometown? How could your hometown be improved? So this question is related to what do you want to improve? Yeah, what do you want for the better of your hometown in the future? How could your hometown be improved? All right, is it infrastructure, the public facilities, or anything else? You can think about it. Okay, has your hometown changed much since you were a child? So you can compare between the situation in your hometown in the past, for example, when you were a child, and in today's situation. All right, and the last question about hometown is there a good public transportation in your hometown? You can talk about public transportation in your hometown. All right, so this is practice 2. Again, I would like to remind you that for practice 2, you also need to record it twice. Yeah, and please choose the best recording and we can watch it or play it later in the class. Okay, now let us move to practice 3. Okay, students, you need to do 3 practices here, at home. So the topic will be about home. Again, you can spend 4 until 5 minutes to practice this with your friend. Okay? And these are the questions that you may answer, or ask. Number 1, where is your home? Okay, where is your home? Do you live in a house or a flat? This is a very interesting question. All right? And who do you live with? Who do you live with? Are there many rooms in your house? Are there many rooms in your house? What is your favorite room? What is your favorite room? How are the walls decorated? How are the walls decorated? So the next question will be, what would you change about your home? Do you have something in your mind? What do you want to change about your home? So you may respond with that. Do you plan to live there in the future? Do you still want to stay in your home or in your house in the future? What are facilities near your home? What are facilities near your home? And this is the last question. What is your neighborhood like? What is your neighborhood like? Okay, these are some possible questions that you can practice at home with your friends. Remember, students, for this practice 3, you need to also record it twice. Yep, just practice at home and choose the best recordings, and we will talk about and discuss about it later in the class. All right, so students, these are the 3 practices that you can do at home, okay, to enable you to speak fluently and answer all the questions, so then you get better score for your IELTS. Hopefully you can get band 7, yeah, for IELTS speaking, as long as you practice very hard at home. So for that, I advise you to visit these links of examples of IELTS speaking tests, part 1, part 2, and part 3, and you can see, watch it, and compare and learn from them, because these videos teach you a lot about how you have to respond to the questions and perform well in your IELTS speaking test. All right, students, that's all our meeting for today. I hope that you can practice as good as possible with your friends at home. I end our meeting for today. Good morning and see you again later. Thank you. Bye-bye.